Hey y'all, welcome back to the Mommy First podcast.
Where you're a mommy first.
And a baddie immediately after.
It's the girl Daddy the Icon.
It's your typical teacher, typical Tana.
And it's your girl Lila.
Ooh, did you see her? I think I wanna meet her. I love a big group, a divine fine creature. Everybody in the clique, that aura I need the face part never decline. Shorty favorite chance.
So y'all, how y'all been?
Good.
How you doing?
Amazing, fabulous.
Awesome. Yes.
Having a good time with y'all outside the podcast.
I was outside last night. It was fun.
It was really fun.
It was.
Well, I was scrolling through, our little messages, and I remember a story that you shared. It was on Drika Gates. And for those who might not recognize that name, she used to date Kevin Gates, the rapper.
She was married.
She was married to him.
Married.
Mm-hmm. It was
Married.
I think they technically still are. I don't think they got divorced.
But they're separated.
At one point, yeah.
Okay. So she was in a relationship with Kevin Gates, and she had a recent interview where they were exploring her life as they call her a healer. That she is a doula, and she is a life coach. She's also started a new dispensary.
Okay.
And so they was exploring a little more. She was on doing an interview with Baller Alert, and they brought up a part about her kids. And because we hear about our kids, I was like, okay, let me tune in what she got to say. And so she was basically saying like her kids are fucking beasts when it comes to dealing with other people. And she just went into an explanation of why she is so proud of her kids and how they handle life situations. And then they asked a little bit about if they're in school or if she homeschool. And she explored a little bit about homeschooling. So it made me sit here and think about how we as parents, as moms, approach life lessons with our kids. If we are making certain decisions or just certain opportunities to teach them life lessons. Especially now, like right now we got younger kids, very, and then I have my teenage, which is really hitting me. But have y'all thought about how y'all are incorporating certain life lessons or any life lessons that are more important than other life lessons at the moment for our itty bitties?
Do you have any? Because I know I always say how you're really good at I call you the Huxtable family. How you're really good at taking things going on in your kids' lives and making them a lesson. I think you're really good with that.
I'm just taking it one step at a time. I have a couple of life lessons that helps with that emotional intelligence piece. More so, Emery showing up as herself as one life lesson. Not really switching up, because I'm really big on being a genuine person, as well as staying away from the sneakiness, the lying, things like that. When you are really being yourself, you don't really have to worry about telling a story to people. So I always encourage that from her, especially when she tells me certain stories as a teenager about her friends or other peers. And I'm just like, Emery, you're not showing up as yourself. You doing you moving funny. So I talk her through that, ask her questions. Another, I'm big with financial literacy as a life lesson, because I feel like since we don't learn that in school,
right.
It was hard for me when I became an adult with my impulsive spending and everything. I wanted to introduce that to both Emery and Irie. So I bought a game called Sense to Sense, that teaches that makes it fun and teach all that literacy. I mean, there's a lot of life lessons, like trying to think of them off the whim.
I think on the video, what got my wheels turning is that I'm always so focused on like the developmental, educational, make sure he knows his ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and I don't really often think about like how to incorporate certain life lessons. We gotta remember that they're coming from zero.
You are though. You teaching a life lesson? I seen the other day on your TikTok the pizzas when JoJo was making the pizza. I feel like, cause I know for me it wasn't consistently taught for me to cook for myself.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's a life lesson because we gotta eat.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's one of those things, especially in a time where it's inflation. You gotta find where you can get it. Having that type of skill to lean on is gonna help you through it. Yeah. And then especially as boys and men and stuff, like it's such a good look to know when a man knows how to cook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't think about that being a valuable life lesson.
Yeah.
Teaching him how to cook. A lot of boys don't really learn how to cook. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay. I can maybe see that.
Yeah. What do you think, Lola?
So I do teach Kendrick how to cook. He cooks with me all the time.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing that I try to teach him, that I've noticed, is integrity. Just constantly doing what's right, despite what you see other people doing, because this day and time they are learning by what they see, and so it's like with him, it's like now that it's not right, because you see everybody else doing it, and then you wanna try to do it, and I'm like, no, like you're supposed to do what's right regardless of to whatever everybody else is doing, or whether somebody's looking or not.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I know he tries to be sneaky sometimes, like especially when we in the store and like he's trying to get something, like he wants some candy, and if I tell him no, then he try to like do like this, and I'm like, I'll look at him and he put it down, because I'm like, I know you don't think that you're getting ready to walk out of this store with that candy. After I just told you no.
Beat too. I was so bad we did that. I got the whooping of my life when we got home after that.
Did you ever not do it?
So, I know for sure I try to teach that because that's important.
It's very important.
So you teach by like example, because I always want to try to figure out how I teach my son to be a good person, be his own person, be an individual, be a leader, but also know how to be a follower when need be, like not always have to feel like he has to take control. So I try to figure out ways to like how to. So when I was observing like him and his daycare friends at one of the birthday parties, and I kind of could tell like, okay, I see here's the ringleader of the group because of how they kind of like followed him around, and it was kind of like I don't know, trying to figure out like ways so that he's not just a follower, but that he's like a good friend.
Right,
and he's not like interact with his friends the right way and doesn't always do what they tell him to do because they tell him to do that. So that's kind of like the life lessons I try to figure out, like how to make him a decent human being. They start from zero. And every day I realize like, I really gotta teach them. It would be something simple as like teach him how to snap his fingers. Like, I gotta teach him how to, like, I have to teach him how to do everything. Like, when you're playing, teach him every single thing. Like, I don't usually, cause I be so focused on like, okay, I'm trying to get him in school. I have to make sure he knows how to say his alphabet and know how to, write this and that. I don't even really think about like, how do I know he's gonna be a socially good person, know how to interact with other kids, and know how to like be a good friend and be nice but not be a pushover.
Right. Because you can know your alphabet, know how to count, and stuff like that. But if you don't know how to communicate with people, if you don't, know how to use your manners, you don't know how to be mannerable, and all that other stuff, it's like everything else goes out the window because they don't care if you're educated.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They look at,
the vibe.
Yeah.
Or
how you move, what you say, how you act, like all of that. That's what they really look at.
You know what else I think about? The thin line between teach your kid how to think for themselves or like figure out things for themselves and also education. Which I think is something that Drake could kind of like harped on. She said she homeschools her kids.
Yeah.
Because like when we think about back in school, Black History Month, we don't learn about these certain historical figures, but there's so many more in Black history
that they do not. Yeah.
Or they would water down white history to make them look not as bad. Because in school, I don't know about y'all. I mean, it was always said that slavery was bad, but as bad as it actually was, it was. They definitely downplayed it to like how it was. So it's kind of like doing that extra, teach your kid outside of that. Like how are y'all gonna balance like knowing that okay, what you learn in school is right, but however, like,
here's this.
That's kind of a worry. I think that's why a lot of people homeschool their kids. But I don't know, because again, I want him to have those social skills. So I don't think I want to homeschool him. Doesn't mean that he's like my only one at the moment. So it's not like she has multiple kids. So I guess it kind of helps that they're interacting with each other.
And she got money like that.
Yeah, she got money like that. But it's kind of like I still want him to go to school to get that social skills and still get the education. But it's kind of like still kind of undoing some of the things. Like how you said, we don't learn anything financial in school.
Right.
So having trying to find that time to teach them that.
I know it's possible because I have a coworker who, I believe her son is a senior this year, or maybe a junior. I don't know, but he's homeschooled.
Okay.
And so I was asking her because I never met someone who's regular degular, homeschooling. And not white. So she's black. Okay. Yeah, she's black. And so I was asking her how she got connected. So she told me about the website and all of that jazz. So that information I could put somewhere for anybody who's interested in that. But I think it's just finding that balance in a sense between what we teach our kids. I'm personally thought about homeschooling because of certain things that get picked up at school. Outside of just the education piece, it's just the influences that can happen. When Draco was like, she personally homeschools her kids because she believes schools are being a little more progressive, I felt her on that because there's things that I never thought I had to approach with Emory. And I'm doing a good job handling it based off of my history and my family. But still, it's like, I wonder if she never was in public school or, she was homeschooled, would this be a thing because of my values and things that we instill? But to go back to the Black history part, just outside of February, I know with Emory, I try to take her to like, the Reggae Fest, the World Fest, just celebrate certain things and then just have certain topics so that I'm constantly reinforcing her attraction to that and her, for her to keep, she's always talking about Black Power. When we went to, I was a little embarrassed, but when we went to the Children's Museum, she was like, Black Lives Matter and blah blah. She was all in it. I don't even remember what happened, but because of how I talk to her, she's able to appreciate the fact that she's Black and she's able to not cringe up, because it can get uncomfortable when we talk about certain history. But I just try to find fun events to take her to, even Irie to, and then just go from there since they aren't going to do that in school.
Why were you embarrassed?
Why was I embarrassed? Because one, it was unexpected, and then two, it was a sea of white people, and I don't like when I show up to work or certain spaces, I am like Black Power. I don't give a fuck. I'll wear my tribal or Black and educated stuff like that. But my mentality is there too. But when I'm just kind of chilling, not really worried about, my mind's not there, I'm like, I'm nervous about what reactions are gonna happen. So you know how when you're out there being proud, motherfuckers get intimidated or whatever. They don't know how to mind their business in a space like that. When we was in around all of these white people.
But I thought you said you was in a Black History Museum.
No, the Children's Museum.
Oh, the Children's Museum.
In Indianapolis.
Okay.
There's a lot of white people.
Yeah, there is. At the Children's Museum, yeah.
And they probably, we're at a children's museum with all these white people. We're around their kids as well. What if they got offended because whatever? And then I'm gonna have to, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if my child feels threatened in any way. I show my ass, and it's one of those things. I'm like, I just hope I don't have to be in that situation.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's.
No, yeah. No, that's something that I think about too, though, because it's like I want my son to be the one that stands up and screams to the mountaintops however he's feeling and not feel like he's embarrassed, but I probably would have been embarrassed too. And it's kind of like that's something I'm trying to figure out but that's something that's instilled in us. Like we were always kind of taught like we don't speak too much on racial issues. We kind of keep it under wraps. But now this day and age, we want our kids to be more like open and vocal. So it's kind of like, dang, like. Proud of her for doing it, but I can see where the embarrassment comes. So it's kind of like that's a life lesson I'm trying to teach myself. Is like allowing my kid to be able to stand up and scream Black Lives Matter in a sea of white people and not feel embarrassed and feel like he's gonna stand 10 toes on how he feels no matter where he's at. Yeah. So that's kind of like something I want to try to work on in myself. To like, okay, let me try to undo my own upbringing and thoughts and be able to like motivate him to like be.
Have you ever outside of, Black History, Black Life Matters, just in general, have you ever noticed JoJo just being proud in a moment and
proud?
Like in front of people, just showing up himself, like just the example that you gave right now.
Oh, he shows the best his stuff a lot. So, and it could be moments, like he's a very emotional, passionate kid, so there's moments where he'll be super emotional about something. I'm just kind of like a little embarrassed, like calm down. Or he might be a kid who like wants to talk about something over and over and over again all day, and I'm like, okay, just like they don't want to hear about that no more. And I have to like kind of catch myself because like, why am I trying to dim him? Like he's something he's excited about that he wants to talk about. So that's kind of like, I guess that's kind of like a situation where it's kind of like I have to like. Because in my own mind, I kind of think, like, if I'm talking about something that I like a whole lot, I kind of, in my head, like, they don't care. Let me sit back and not, like,
right.
I don't want him to be like that. I want him to be like, I'm going to talk about.
Because I want to talk
Spider-Man all day with you. This is what I like to talk about. You going to listen to me talk about it.
If you want to be around me,
like, yeah. So I want him to, like, because I kind of feel, I won't say a weakness, but I kind of feel like that's kind of like a little something in me that I want him to be like loud and proud and strong and not insecurity, I guess, in myself. And I don't want him to have like those type of insecurities. I kind of have to check myself when I'm trying to like calm him down, dim him down, whatever the word may be. Yeah. Like catch myself like, okay, let me let him be him and be passionate and be excited and do what he wants to do. If he's upset, let him be upset and not feel embarrassed that he's having a little moment in the middle of a store kind of thing.
It's probably because as many times as we had our moments back then and then our people humbling us, we probably just kind of caught on to it naturally, not even knowing until we got kids.
I know. And they're trying to undo and make our kids better versions of us every day. It's difficult.
Would you homeschool?
Would I homeschool?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Okay. And why?
Just because, like I said, for that social bit, like I want him to be sociable. I want him to be able to know how to interact with other children, especially because he's the only child at the moment. So,
they do say there's like homeschool groups though to establish that.
I know that.
Yeah, that's where I was looking at that. To establish that social aspect.
I know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But I know we do
I was
talk.
imagine in the house, just us.
Yeah, they do that, and then they'll meet up with the other homeschool kids, and do little study groups, whatever.
Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, everything, has evolved.
Right.
From when homeschool first started. But I don't know, because I guess you kind of answered it, but my question was initially, like, what happens outside the home?
Exactly.
You know what? And that's, like, after homeschool. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
Because, like, I feel like when we homeschool, I'm sure that's probably a curriculum or something like that. But when we homeschool, it's kind of like being in public school without all the children.
Yeah.
When you think about it, because it's like they have, you know, what they're going to teach in school, and then you have what you're going to teach your kids at home.
Yeah.
So even if you're talking about like our Black history, of course you can incorporate other people that the school might not, you know, talk about. But what exactly are you telling them? Like, is it just one-sided?
That's what I was just
you know
thinking.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I don't know, because like.
And you talking about one-sided with the parents or with the school? Like
one-sided with like the parents.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like,
so it's strictly
school, you're around different people who have different opinions, different personalities, different backgrounds,
which helps with the growth.
And different views, different everything. Yeah,
opposite views, different views.
That's
a little empathy for other people as well, and then that could actually help you kind of feel strongly about your opinion because you understand other opinion. Where it's not like you think your opinion is the only opinion.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what goes on in like
that world,
private like homeschool, because it's like I'm gonna tell you like based on how I think I feel and you know what I want.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna teach you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, oh, you know, they beat us, they did this, you know, blah, blah.
They the devils. No.
Right. Right. You know, and so, I don't know. It just depends. But, of course, it starts at home, period. Yeah. So, whatever they're teaching in school, you can still, you know, when your child comes back home, you can still go over what they went in school and add on to it. Yeah. And still teach them, you know, based on what they learned in school.
I've had to do that with Emory. Like, this is more like a little bit off topic, but they have new ways of doing certain math stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I was like, I heard that. And it was complicated. And so I'm like, look, this is how I used to do it, and this is what we're going to do, and we get the same answer type of thing. But, yeah, like.
And I'm supposed to teach my son how to write in cursive. Yeah. They took it out. They bring it back. They took it out. They still. I'm supposed to teach them how to write in cursive and things like that. How are y'all going to teach our kids to deal with other people? Like, interact with other people?
By bringing them around other people. Yeah. I feel like that first, like, me being a hands-on person, I guess that comes into my parenting. I feel like you learn a lot when you're in that moment. Yeah. And then I just follow that up with having that one-on-one after the experience. At least that's what I did with Emory as she was growing up.
What do y'all want to teach them? Like, I always say I am a very nice person. I don't really like that because niceness is a little bit of a, I guess, pushover. Like, people take a lot of niceness for weakness more than, I think, kindness. So I would rather teach my son, I would like him to be very kind, very empathetic. I don't want him to be nice. Yeah. Because I think being kind is, you know, caring about other people and not being disrespectful and being very, you know, mannerable. But being nice when you're, like, at the...
not feeling like you have to be a yes man.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas like going against how you really feel, but you're gonna be this type of person to appease other people.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't want him to be like, I want him to, like, he has to be nice. I feel like I just want him to be respectful. Right. You know, not be judgmental for other people and be very kind to other people, not be rude.
Where we teaching and enforcing boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah, not be rude, but don't feel like you have to be nice all the time to people, like still want to stand your ground and be like, you know what I'm saying, be okay with saying no and not feel bad for saying no. Because I think I'm a person, if I say somebody no, I feel bad for it because I'm very nice. Yeah. So it's like I feel like I always want to, like, I'm trying to think of the word.
I would say, like, just as an example in that situation, you know how, like, with our young kids, and like earlier when you did a good job telling JoJo to ask him, can I have a snack? Right there is an opportunity where they're in a situation where they're either asking or someone's asking them, and then they can say no. Or at least they can practice saying no. Yeah. Instead of coming to us to speak for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to make him like, you ask and then somebody tells you no, I'm like, you can't be mad because you know.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand, because if you don't know that you're okay to say no, you don't have to. If you don't want to share your toy, I'm that parent. I know it's kind of controversial sometimes, but I don't like force kids to share.
Right.
Because nobody's gonna force me to share as a grown woman where I don't want to share.
Right.
So if my son doesn't want to share his toy, I'm sorry, you don't have to share his toy. But in the inverse, it's like if they don't want to share your toy, you can't be mad because they don't want to share it. That's what they want to do. Like, you have the right to say no as well. They have the right to say no. You can't be mad about that.
Yeah.
That's
I teach that to Ari. Yeah, that's happening in the household now. Because especially with the boys sharing a room, it's always something, and it's one of those repetitive conversations of, okay, if y'all don't want to share or whatever it is, you have to expect that also from the other side of things. So
Okay. I don't make Kendrick share like his toys and stuff like that. Okay. But of course, I teach him like, well, when you're at school, those aren't yours.
Yeah.
So you have to share. You can have your turn, and then and you can
ownership and stuff. Yeah.
And so I guess that's kind of how I go with it. But it is hard because, like I said, he's the only child, so he's used to everything. And I'm just like, dude,
yeah.
But I definitely am all for letting him say no.
Yeah.
As long as he's been respectful.
Right.
So,
right.
Because I'm actually not that type of person. So
it's a lot
nice.
harder.
I'm nice. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm kind as well.
And as a nice person, how do you feel?
It burns me up.
It's like you're doing a disservice to yourself.
It does. And like I talked about that to my therapist, because I'm like, I feel like when I say no, there has to be an explanation behind it.
Right.
Like I feel bad just for saying no. I feel like I have to tell you why I'm saying no. So that I don't offend you.
Right.
So I'm all for him telling people no. We talk about personal space. Him respecting people's personal space and people respecting his. Like,
I feel like what we talking about is exactly what we don't see often nowadays. Like simple things, even when it comes to like communication, like golly, it's such the hardest thing, but it's something we can never get away from because we're in this society, in this shared space. And so I definitely feel like we're doing a good job making sure that the things that we might lack in or trying to work on, or if we witness other people, kind of navigating through some spaces a little differently, that we tell our kids, tell our kids and show our kids and teach our kids those life skills, those life lessons. Gonna take them a long way. So to our people out there, to our viewers, to our listeners, let us know how important life lessons, incorporating life lessons in your kid's life is to you, and what life lessons you are incorporating in your children's life, no matter what age they are, because some of these adult kids still need guidance. So let us know. We want to know.
All right, y'all. So moving on to the hot topic. Quiet on Set. The Nickelodeon documentary. So it is the food. In short, if y'all haven't seen it, but y'all gotta watch it. It's on HBO Max. I think it's on Amazon Prime too, Hulu.
Spoiler alert.
Y'all can find it. Yeah, spoiler alert. It's okay. And a new episode's coming out tonight anyway, so y'all get something new. But basically, it's talking about how Dan Schneider, which was a major creator on Nickelodeon, created a whole lot of successful shows like All That, The Amanda Show, Victorious,
Drake and Josh.
I'm trying to think of the other one. iCarly, and then Zoe 101.
Okay.
Which were very popular shows on Nickelodeon in the early 2000s. Well, early 2000s to the 2010s. Yeah. So he was basically a pervert. He was a weirdo. He would do things that was just like, as kids, the kids aren't gonna understand that he was really making these shows with these jokes for adults because they were like very inappropriate jokes. So he would just do like weird stuff, have the kids in weird situations that have like sexual undertones in it. Yeah. So it's always like, looking as an adult, it was creepy. But we're not gonna, he's not the major focus I want to talk about. Okay. I want to talk about the parents of these kids because so many parents drop the ball, and I used to not be a blame the parents type person. Like when the R. Kelly situation was going on, people would say, well, what about the parents? And I would be like, no, forget what the parents doing, blame R. Kelly because he's sick. But in hindsight, looking back on it, parents definitely had a fault. Yeah. So with the Quiet on Set documentary, there were just different parents that just didn't do what they're supposed to do.
They kept quiet on set.
They kept quiet on set when they didn't need to keep quiet on set. There was one woman whose daughter was, I think she was trying to get into acting, and the woman kind of was putting her childhood dreams, because she had parents who worked in like Hollywood, but they were like, behind the scenes, and they never wanted their daughter in Hollywood.
I wonder why.
She wanted to be in Hollywood so bad, and she kind of like resented her parents. So when her daughter expressed interest in being an actress, she was all for it. So she was ready to do whatever to get her daughter on there. So she wasn't like a major actress, but I think she did like extra work, little, she was in the mix, she was in the audience, like get into that industry. There was one production assistant who had a very inappropriate relationship, and for the mom to even allow that was kind of weird. Like she would allow the men to talk, like email back and forth. She knew they were emailing back and forth, but she always thought it was just innocent, which a grown man and a preteen girl should be a red flag. Right. So she said there was one situation where the girl was on her computer and she heard him and turned it off and ran to her room. So the mom went and was like, well, what's wrong, what's going on? And she showed her he had sent like a new picture of him like masturbating and was saying, I'm thinking of you. So instead of the mom going to the studio or going to the police, she just kept quiet and decided, I'm just going to take my daughter out of this because she didn't want to seem like a bad mom. Subjecting all these other kids instead of like reporting this man who is a pedophile. You want to not say a bad mom. Because you're like, I think I'm a bad mom because I allowed their relationship to happen. Yes, but you're even worse mom for not saying anything about it. Then it ended up coming out, he had like a whole lot of child pornography charges. There was a whole lot of other kids that he had inappropriate relationships with, and it came out, and she made her daughter testify, which I'm sure was traumatizing to the daughter, because it was like, now you're going to make her testify, but you're the one who didn't even speak on it. So that was one mom. There was, I'm going to give it to Drake Bell's mama, because she can see me, because I do not. Drake Bell's mama is scum of the earth. She has a special place in hell for what she did. Aww. We're going to get to her because she has a whole new thing. But I will note that the mamas that had some sense, guess what color they was?
Black.
The black mamas? Because there was only so few black actors on Nickelodeon, on all that. Yeah. There was a couple of the black boys. What was it? Brian. His mama would raise hell. Every time something was sketchy, something was weird, she had something to say. And they kind of knew her to be like, oh, she's always gonna have something to say. So they try to like ice her out a little bit, and they end up firing him from the show. Yeah. And they kind of framed it to like, because the mom always raised him, and that kind of messed up her relationship with her son, which kind of broke my heart because he kind of blamed her because he was trying to get his family out the hood, which is another thing. Because why do our kids feel the burden of getting us out the hood? Exactly. But that's a whole nother topic. But that kind of messed up their relationship afterwards because he was like, if my mom would just not say anything, just let them do what they were supposed to do, I could still be on the show. But like being a good mom, she was like, I'm not about to let this stuff fly. Right. And what's going on? So let's get to Drake Bell's mama. that lady, she's terrible. So in short, Drake Bell's daddy was his manager. So he was the main one, like taking him to the show, this and that, being there for him when they were doing anything. So Drake Bell started on the Amanda Show, and then moved on to have his own show, Drake and Josh. So in the midst of this transition, there was a dialogue coach named Brian Peck. And his dad would just always know his inappropriate relationship, like the way he would touch Drake. It would be very inappropriate when he interacted with him. He would try to get him to come to his house for lessons. And his dad didn't like, his dad would say stuff, and they started like icing his dad, kind of how they did Brian's mom. They kind of iced him out, and they wouldn't tell him stuff, or like he felt the energy was shifting because he always would say stuff. So it got to a point that when they were about to start Drake and Josh, Dan Schneider was putting it in Drake's head that he might not want his dad to be his man. His dad told him back. So Brian Peck went to the mom and got on the mom's good side because the parents were divorced. Got on the mom was like, his parents were together. So that's the factor. So he went to the mom. It was kind of like in her head, like, he's really holding Drake back. Drake could be so great. He's this, and that. For the mom to fight to get Drake to agree that he didn't want his dad as his manager. So they removed his dad as his manager, and the mom took it over. So Drake's dad was like, okay, that's fine. My only wish is that you keep him away from Brian Peck. Because this man is weird. And
there's something going on.
There's something going on that I don't like. That's my only wish. Just keep away from this man. So the mama decided, I think it was a little spite. Like I said, they were divorced. I think it was kind of like a little bad relationship. So in spite, in my opinion, she was talking to Brian Peck. He's the one that convinced her to be his manager. And she would allow Drake to go to lessons at his house. Yeah. The mom didn't like to drive. And they lived a distance. They lived like in Orange County, and then Nickelodeon was like in Hollywood, so it's a little bit of a drive. So she didn't like to drive. So when they would he would ride with Brian. Brian would come get him, take him to set. If the set ran late, instead of driving Drake home, he would say, well, he could stay at my house. And the mom was like, okay, because the mama didn't want to drive. So she would let Drake stay at this grown man's house. And the grown man started molesting Drake. And, you know what I'm saying? And Drake was he couldn't even say what he did. He said, if you can think of the worst thing somebody can do to another person sexually, that's what happened. He's like, just let y'all mind go wherever y'all want to go. That's what happened when it happened. How old was he at that time? Like 15. 15, yeah. Bless him. And he said it happened damn near every night. Yeah. Because he was always at this man's house because they would have, their rehearsals or their shooting would run late.
So did it ever catch up to the mama, to the parents, like what was happening, or is this stuff they found out later?
So Drake got a girlfriend who was just not coming out, was Fifi Dobson, who was a singer. And when he got the girlfriend, he would always be at her house. He didn't want to go to Brian's house, so he would make that excuse like, I'm supposed to be at my girlfriend's house. So one time Brian was supposed to take him to like Disney World.
Okay, now it's connected.
So he was like, they were going to Disney World or so wherever in LA. And Drake didn't go because he's like, I don't want to go with this man. And his friends were also kind of very weird. Oh my God. Like, they would have pool parties in the house, and they would just always comment weird things about, like, the kids. So, his man was blowing Drake up, trying to, like, get him, like, where you at? And Drake was ignoring it. He started calling the girlfriend's house, looking for Drake. And the mom was like, this is weird. And she, like, pulled Drake to the side, like, hey, be honest with me. What's going on? And he told his girlfriend's mom what happened. And then she called his mom, and that's how his mom found out. But Drake was like, in 2 seconds, my girlfriend's mom figured out what was going on. That his mom couldn't months on end
pay close attention
to see that was going on. Which is sick. And they ended up going to court. And Drake's dad didn't even find out until years later. They didn't even tell his dad. Right. Drake had called. He was like, he's finally been arrested, and his dad was like, oh my God, thank God that he didn't get his hands on you. And Drake said he didn't have the heart to tell his dad that it was him. Aww. That was the reason. But yeah, Brian Peck got arrested. It was a big thing. Everybody, they had like stacked the cast of all that down, and they were like, Brian's no longer here. He's been arrested for this and that, and nobody ever knew who it was because he was underage. Yeah. They couldn't like reveal who the kid was, but on this documentary, it was revealed that it was Drake. Yeah, Drake Bell.
Parents got to do better.
Your parents gotta do better.
Yeah. They got to do better.
So it's sad. So I just feel like these parents, they chase fame and fortune so much.
Wrong things.
Yeah. And like I said, I never was a person to blame the parents, but this is a situation where I'm like, no, the parents have got to do better. Like, how as parents can you be so focused on fame and fortune or wanting your kids to be this type of person? Amanda Bynes' parents are just as bad too, because they really let her do like inappropriate things, like, you know what I'm saying, have a really, really weird relationship with Dan Schneider. I think, she had like a lot of mental issues. I think there was like a lot of things like her parents controlling her too much and all of that.
That's why she ran away. But what I guess because initially in the beginning they were allowing her to be a part of certain stuff that just didn't make sense, because I thought they cut off Dan. I think
they knew things were going on and they've been inappropriate, but she was the star. She was one of the biggest stars on Nickelodeon at the time. She was huge. And everybody watched the Amanda show. Everybody quoted to this day.
And we knew the sketches.
She's very, very popular. People are like heartbroken that she is how she is now because they're like, how did she fall for grace so hard?
Sense though.
I think her parents knew there were weird things going on. They could see, like I said, us as kids back then, we didn't know. We thought stuff was just weird and funny. I remember the Nose Boy sketch. I never noticed that looked like a dick and balls on his shoulder. I remember
at all.
Brian Peck was Pickle Boy. I never thought the inappropriateness of these pickles.
Right.
Like, because they're, phallic shaped like a penis. It was always just like so funny as kids, like, oh, he just has a whole plate of pickles.
Yeah.
So as kids, we don't notice that, but these adults, they notice it. Because looking back on it, when they were showing like the scenes that were very inappropriate, I remember vividly all these scenes.
Yeah.
I remember the on-screen dares. I remember, like I said, Little Fetus when he was in a leotard. I remember like all these things happening. But I never, as a kid, you don't know.
You didn't put that together.
No. But as an adult, you don't see what was going on.
And like
at least the production company knew what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Because my whole thing about this documentary is shame on you, Nickelodeon. Whoever the fuck is over Nickelodeon, why the hell did y'all think, no, that's right. I forgot. Money rules the world.
And that's honestly, Dan Schneider. So Dan Schneider's done an interview since it came out.
He has?
He did an interview.
People saying lock him up. How is he allowed?
I forgot his name. Did y'all watch Drake and Josh?
Yeah, a little bit.
There was a black guy on there that was kind of like eccentric. I forgot what his name was. It was like Tebow or something on the show. Something like that. He did an interview on his podcast where he was like, I guess talking about the documentary. And his thing that he's really standing on is that I probably made some bad decisions that weren't the best. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be mad at me, be mad at the higher ups. He said everything I did had to go through the higher ups. So if they approved it, why y'all mad at me?
Yeah.
So he's basically like whistleblowing, like there's some perverts in Hollywood. It ain't just me.
No.
They know we
know in Hollywood there's some perverts.
Right. I know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, but as parents, it's one of our main priorities is to protect our kids, no matter what the temptation is. I know it's a struggle out here and we got to do everything, but no amount of fame, no amount of money is ever going to allow me to turn a blind eye to my child's pain.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, how can you as a parent know your child, whether it's the Nicholas situation or R. Kelly, like, there's weird things going on. Mm-hmm. You can tell when your child's not their self. You can tell when your child's uncomfortable, when things aren't right. Mm-hmm. How can you as a parent sit there and just let it happen and turn a blind eye?
With the differences in the skin color? Because you said...
it was always the black mom. And when a lot of people who were speaking up on what was going on behind the scenes were the black characters. And they were kind of like... They never got the extent that like Drake got or Amanda got, all these other, where they were actually molested, and I think it's for the parents.
Yeah,
because black parents go
they spoke up,
like, like where you like at your house, spend the night,
right?
Bring my son back, right? My night,
I don't know you like that, like
I'll be there, meet me halfway, like what?
Right.
Or if anything, I'm gonna be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be right there the whole fucking time
because you don't drive. That pisses me off because you don't drive, which I understand it. I have a mom who doesn't really like to drive. She don't take the expressway. I get it. It happens. But why would you want to be his manager if you can't be there at all times like his daddy was?
Yeah.
That was spiteful.
Yeah.
And she was being petty.
Yeah.
And now her son is forever traumatized because you want to be petty to your ex-husband. Like, you gotta be grown. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is your kids. Like, we're shaping their life, like we just talked about. We're taking them from nothing. You're shaping this human being. You got to be a little more vigilant on, like, what's going on and look overprotective. Being overprotective, there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't. Yeah. Even, no matter how old your kid gets, it's nothing wrong with it. Because sometimes with the Amanda situation, whatever she was exposed at, however age she was exposed to it, I feel like she normalized certain things. Mm-hmm. So that's why she rebelled back, against certain things. And sometimes it takes people fighting for us to wake up. So our parents, if they know, if we are noticing things happening to our child that our child is not aware of, no matter what age it is going to be up to me to kind of come to them and open that up to them. Like, hey, this is not cool. Right. And I love you way too much.
Exactly.
For you to keep going in this situation. Like, even if you hate me, I'm still going to fight for you.
Right. So my thing would be, if I don't protect my kid, who will?
Yeah.
They're big.
Clearly they don't give...
Nobody's gonna ever care about our child as much as us.
Exactly.
No matter, people could love our child down. My family loves my son, but nobody's gonna love him or fight for him harder than me. Yeah. So it's very disheartening these parents drop the ball like that over some fame and fortune. Now your kid is forever traumatized. It's like, why would you ever? I don't get it. Maybe because I'm black. Yeah. Maybe because I'm black and I'm gonna be there every step of the way. I'm paying attention. I'm knowing what's going on. I'm reading contracts. You know what I'm saying. I'm watching back the what I just recorded. That was kind of weird. Watch my son in boxers getting licked by some dogs. Like what's going on? Like what's happening? What's this about? Yeah. And I'm gonna raise hell. And it does suck that could possibly like mess up your relationship with your kid.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that? Like if you know what I'm saying, you know what's best for your kid. Because me, in hindsight, seeing things that my mom might have protected me from back in the day. Yeah. I appreciate it because, like, as an adult, I see it. Yeah. But as a kid, that was kind of like it messed up a little relationship like that. Like, how do you?
Yeah, like one thing I remember as a teenager that I didn't like, but I can see now as an adult was when me and my mama lost our house. We ended up living at my granny's house, and at this time, I was like a junior in high school. And she basically was like, you ain't spending the night over people's house. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. And I'm like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? And so I was upset as a teenager because I'm like, I already spend the night over people's house and blah, blah, blah. Like, why are you being this way about it? But now, fast forward and I have my kids or whatnot, it's because you don't know what's going on in other people's houses. Exactly. Right. And, I mean... there is ways around it, but if I gotta be that strict about it just to make sure that I'm not putting my child in a situation that turns into this documentary, then I'll say no, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. So I feel like with these parents, they should have thought a little bit about, okay, this might not be the production company we're gonna do. There's other, I'm sure. I know it's Paramount, but there's other ones out there that might be thinking of doing something with kids in a sense, or hell, this might not be a time. But we can wait till you grow, like
and make your own decisions. Maybe that's what you need to do.
But then they say that he would like either blackball him or like retaliate, so fire him and then blackball him,
which seems to be the common thing in Hollywood. If you speak up.
And as far as like parents of the opposite race, you know, they often
I like how you
they often make a statement that they're groomed to have money, you know, live certain lifestyles. So I guess their thing is we was built for this. It's what we do, regardless. You know what I mean? It is sick.
People.
It is sick.
Because like there's no going back from that, and that's why I kind of think about when I get overprotective. Because you go to therapy, you can grow up. You know, people go through things and they grow up and be great human beings. But you get that. There's no going back from that. There's always gonna be like a mark on your on your soul, on your life of a bad time, and I just don't. Bad times are inevitable, but I don't want to get that bad to my child experience anything like this. So I'm gonna be extra protective. I'm gonna be extra vigilant. I'm not gonna go for certain things. I'm fine. The whole get your child out the hood thing would be bothering me. Or like you living your childhood through your kid is like I'm saying there's a safe way to do it, because I would love, you know, my son to be more involved, active in sports, because I wasn't. I wish I was when I was younger, but not to the point where it's like,
it's got to do stuff to start or whatever.
Ain't nothing but eat, sleep, sports. You about to go to lead. I'm not gonna put that pressure on my child. Like, you're gonna do what you want to do. We're gonna make sure this is fun, and then they gotta be fun. It shouldn't be the bread and butter for a family. That's gonna be on the child.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
That's the sad part. That's what we had with Britney Spears and her sister. It was a rumor that Dan Schneider, you know, her sister, they canceled Zoe 101 because she got pregnant when she was like 14. It was a rumor that allegedly, everything we say is alleged.
Yeah,
except the things that were like convicted in the court of law.
Right.
But allegedly, he's the baby daddy, and allegedly he got Amanda pregnant, and she got an abortion. But I don't know. That's the allegations. None of that has come into fruition that with proof. But that he's done that. But
all the stuff that they are bringing up in this documentary is basically solidifying that allegation can be more and more true. Because how and
shout out to the people that did advocate for the kids, because it's also coming out from iCarly, the guy who played her big brother. They said he was one. They like released some behind the scenes clips, because then I always recorded behind the scenes stuff what they had going on, and the things he would say would be like, you could kind of tell he was protecting the kids, because it'd be like, don't say it to them, or let us go home, Dan. Or he'll get in between Dan and the kids, or if he said something inappropriate, he'd be like, that was weird. Like there was one, he had said, hey cutie, to the kids, and the guy was like, that's weird, why would you say that to the kids? Like, but he would say like jokey, but you could tell he was kind of serious. And they was like, he was one that he would, even if he wasn't recording that day, he would still be on set, because he wanted to still watch what the kids got going on and make sure the kids are safe.
Have y'all seen the clip? I think in the little whatever title caption, it said something about how sick Hollywood is, or how Hollywood does something. But it's Bernie and his little family. They were taking a photo shoot.
I saw that.
So yeah. And they were trying to get, I don't know the name.
Jordan.
They're trying to get Jordan to sit on his lap.
Oh, the Bernie Mac show?
Yeah, Bernie Mac show. Sit on his lap for the photo, and Bernie's like, no, like, you know, we're not gonna do that or whatever.
Right.
I think, like, yes, I'm disappointed in the parents, but as we keep on encouraging villages or just other adults stepping in, it is nice to have other adults to step in, especially the adults that are on the set that are part of the scripts. You know, y'all are gonna have more observation on what's going on if the parents miss it. You know what I'm saying? So where more, or at least more of them speaking up as well.
We need more women in them rooms too. Women is gonna be the one. Not all women, because there's someone that do, you know, allow the things to happen. They kind of turn a blind eye. But for the most part, I think women have a little more intuition on things that are like, that's not okay. That's not. Maybe that might not be a good idea. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like the women that were in their writer's room. It was two of them in a room full of men. So when they would stand up and say something, they were outnumbered, and nobody would ever have their back. So it's kind of like they kind of felt like
that too.
I can't say nothing because we're letting you know this might not read well. This isn't a good idea to put that in the script. But you know, when you have 10 other men going against you, it's
they're like, well, what's wrong with it?
Especially that's on the same stuff though too.
That's what I said. I said not all women. I said some women turn a blind eye to it too.
I'm not talking about the blind eye. I'm saying they would be on the same stuff as the guy was on.
But that's all. That all comes down to the money. It all comes down to the power. It all comes down because I mean, some people just don't give a fuck, and so maybe those women just don't give a fuck. Just like there's some men who don't give a fuck. But I also feel like those women are seeking the same thing that parents are turning blind eyes to, the fame and the power. So the moment a woman's intuition might activate, there's some women who are brave enough to act on that intuition, but there's other women who's like, well, I feel this, but this might put me in a certain space, because I'm going through that at work. It's like when you have that feeling to speak up, then you have a realization, okay, what's the backlash that's going to happen once I speak up? And some women don't have that backbone. So they, especially because we fucking women, we're already discredited. So there's women out here who's like, okay, I'm gonna be a fucking woman and I'm going to speak up for what the fuck it is. I'm not standing by this shit. But because I am a woman and how people manipulate certain shit for women to stay quiet, that's probably what's happening with those women who's going along with the shit. Or you know, making decisions that might not be appropriate.
And then we're speaking statistically. Either way, man and woman, we don't need no creeps in there in general. So whether a woman's with it or a man's with it, don't need to be them creepy people, especially. The amount of creepy people that are on these kids shows is fucking disgusting.
It's crazy.
And that it seems like a gateway, same way with some of the teachers that be doing purpose.
They're
trying to find a gateway into get some kids.
Yeah.
Better background checks, more things be going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something
When
going on.
they were saying,
we need to get these people out of here. Hold on real quick. I'm speaking on his point.
Yeah.
But we're talking statistically for pedophiles is more like for a man than a woman.
Yeah.
Not saying there's women that aren't pedophiles.
Yeah.
Of course, we wouldn't want them in the room either. But either way, you know what I'm saying? A little more, I think it's a better chance if you have more women. There would be more, you know what I'm saying?
Because that one
More willing to
situation,
stand up for the kids or have a little more.
what's his name? Not the name, but the other assistant got fired in the little clip. They were saying, oh no. It was the Peck situation. And when the dad went to the producers about the weird stuff that was happening, they tried to gaslight him and say, oh, he's gay. You must be homophobic.
That wasn't the case at all.
Like, I just wanted to point that out as far as, you know.
Like, first of all, I didn't even know that. Y'all didn't even tell me.
It might be better that women's on the set.
And also,
so you won't have to use certain things like that. No.
Yeah. Also, all the people that's still in Hollywood today that stood behind Brian Peck, shame on you. Freaking Sean and Eric from Boy Meets World, y'all should be ashamed.
Right.
What's James Marsden? Me and my son like you because we watch Sonic every day. I'm about to boycott Sonic because you sick for having that man's back.
Dang, they had his back.
They wrote letters in court on his character saying he's a good man. Some people even said there must be some kind of temptation to make him do that. Why would y'all blame kids?
Why are y'all?
Stop blaming kids, bro. That's disgusting.
Are you
temptation no
serious?
kid can give anybody that will allow for that.
When
Even if a kid is tempting you, you are a grown person.
Who? Yes, you are a grown person. Excuse me.
That's disgusting. Because I've seen kids, little kids who might have, and it's always something
It reminds
behind.
me of Eat Bad by You.
Exactly. But it's always something a little bit more into that they might have been, molested, touched as a kid, so that they're kind of acting out. They don't really know how to really show certain things, but that's how they kind of grew up. So usually it's something a little deeper than that. But if a child is coming to you inappropriately, it's you as the grown person to nip down the bud and get them some help.
Yeah.
And see what's really going on.
Right.
Ain't no temptation no kid, no 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid can give you to make you touch them like that. That's
I can't
disgusting.
believe that they even thought that was cool to.
And after this came out, they come back
Somebody
and be like,
somebody did. I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was I think it was Sean from Boy Meets World. I think he came back and was like, I didn't know the full story when they told me to write the letter, so I do recant what I said. That wasn't appropriate for me to say, but now everybody has. Everybody has.
See, that's why I need the full story. If I'm going
I'm writing a letter in court.
All right, I need to know all the details.
I need the details. But parents just need to do better. At the end of the day, our kids are relying on us. We are their biggest advocate, no matter what. And if there's something going on with your kid that you're not okay with, that's inappropriate, and you tell your kid something's going on, like I said, you can tell when your kid something's going on. Yeah. Fifi Dobson's mama knew in 2 seconds. That's not even her son.
Right.
And she knew something weird was going on. Y'all got to stand for your kids.
Yes.
Do what's best. No money, no power, no fame. I will be homeless with my child before I let him go through that. I will live in my car with him before I feel like he has to go through that and deal with that type of treatment for us to live. Like, no. I'm going to the end of the earth to make it. He don't have to worry about nothing. Yeah. I'm not selling my child. Yeah. That's disgusting.
That is.
Because we mamas first.
Have y'all seen Blondie? The Marilyn Monroe? Watching. It just gets giving deeper in depth on what y'all talking about. It started early, you know what I'm saying, real young. Of course she wanted to be an actress, but you got to see the way these men do her when she walk in rooms.
Mm.
She's going in to, get scripts and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They don't say nothing. They're just putting her down, bending her, whatever the case may be. Yeah. She didn't do anything. Yeah. So it's obviously rape. It's obviously wrong. But she did not react ever because that's how she made her money and that's how it all started. You feel me? She wasn't protected from a child. Point is, watch Blondie.
Yeah.
Watch it. Watch Blondie.
Watch Blondie.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That whole documentary, like,
we ain't gonna get on that. We ain't gonna get on that yet.
It pissed me off too. Even the bits and pieces, I had to do a little recap. And even the little recaps that I was looking at, I just cannot believe it. I'm glad it's coming out. What's done in the dark is coming out. It definitely emphasizes the dark side of Hollywood. But it's more of those things like, now that it's out, what are we going to do moving forward? Because obviously these kid shows are not going away. Or these kid roles are not going away in movies. So what are y'all doing now to protect these kids? Parents, what are y'all doing now to protect your child if you are considering putting your child in Hollywood?
Something must have said that. Right. That's real. Because, I think the documentary will help. It opens the eye to what's going on. Now that we see it in black and white, like we see it happening. Like I said, we didn't know that was inappropriate going on. Now we seen it like, okay. And hopefully more
this is the year of the reckoning.
Ain't it?
So that was the documentary. Watch it. It's a new one come on tonight.
Okay.
Today's April 7th. Come on tonight at 8. I think what channel to come on actually?
I don't know what channel.
Is it ID Network? I don't even know what channel to come on because it come on TV too.
Oh.
It goes on TV, but then it airs on like HBO Max and Hulu and all that. Like
so okay. If it's ID, I'm gonna watch it because we got Spectrum.
Yeah, I think it's ID Network. I'll look at it and I'll tell you. It's coming on tonight at 8 though. But yeah, so that's that. But we go on to the mommy moment. Okay. Moving on to the ending of this episode. So my mommy moments. I don't know how much of a mommy moment it really is on me specifically. Okay. But I was at work and I got a random message from Josan's granny on his dad's mom. And she was like, call me. And I'm at work. For y'all who know me, I'm going to let y'all know, don't ever text me, just say call me. My mind's always going to panic.
Right.
I'm always going to think something's wrong. Because I've had moments where that would happen. I would get, when bad things, people tell me bad things, they would always stop like, call me now. Yeah. Then I would call and it's something like somebody died. So now I'm a little traumatized from that. Yeah. So that's something like, my mom's boyfriend knows now. If he texts me, he'll say, can you call me? And he'll say, there's nothing wrong. He knows me. He knows I'm going to freak out. Yeah. So y'all know me. Don't do that to me. That makes me panic. So I text her back and I was like, I'm at work. Is something wrong? And she was like, no. That's okay. Well, okay. Right. That kind of eased my mind. Yeah. So when I got a break, I called her and she was like, I just want to see JoJo. I haven't seen y'all in a while. Whatever. I said, okay, well, I'll call you when I get home. So I called her when I got home. Let her talk to JoJo. So it was nice. He saw like his aunts, like his dad's sisters. Talked to his dad on FaceTime as well. And it was just nice. And they were talking about how much they missed him and hope he's doing well. And they want to see him. There was something like, what I'm saying? His sister got on the phone and she was like, we're not my brother. So like, we want to see him. When we miss him, we haven't seen him in a while. You can bring him around us. You don't have to wait on him. Because when I was talking to his mom, I was like, well, I've been trying to like work it out so where he could come over there, but what I'm saying, his dad is always the issue. Yeah. So they was like, you don't have to go through him. It's like, forget him. We can't control what he's doing. They over it. But yeah. So it was like, we want to see JoJo. So like, y'all, you can bring him. You can come over when you want to. You can bring him when you want to. Like, just hit us up and let us know. Because we want to see him more often. And we know it's a lot going on. And we don't want, what I'm saying, you to feel like we're not here for you. Yeah. So that was just nice. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to do a little better. With even just calling her randomly so he could talk to her or taking him over there to see her. So that was like a relief to know. You know what I'm saying? Because some people's, when the baby daddy and the baby mama ain't on the terms, but they ain't working out, the other side is completely, you know what I'm saying? They kind of like completely step out. Yeah. So to have them kind of like reach out on that made me feel good. It was kind of like, okay, so now I have a little more extra support. So that was my mommy moment. I feel good about that. It made me happy.
It's a good mommy moment. It's a moment you allow that space for them to say what they need to say, and it got the reassurance that you need. Is definitely a mommy moment for sure, because it's going to lead to him having a more of a solid support system. So yes, absolutely, girl. I'm proud of you.
We'll just host today.
Yes.
All right, and with that, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Mommy First podcast.
Where you're a mommy first.
And a baddie immediately after.
Bye.
These women fine about their business, how y'all fuck them over. And wonder why you saved in contacts as sperm donor. They hard on you to fuck niggas, they can't feel a thing. He blowing up her phone like a bitch, she just watching ring.